the UK does not support military interventions to settle disputes in democratic systems. But we have to look forward. This has happened. I've just discussed the situation in the last few minutes with the Foreign Minister of Egypt. And in our view, there are now three very important things. One is that there is a swift return to democratic processes. He has assured me there will be early presidential elections. And I have made the point that we regard it, and many other countries will regard it as important, that those elections are totally free and fair, that everyone is able to compete in them. And that means the early release of political leaders and journalists who have been arrested so that they can take part in those elections. Human rights must be upheld and restored. The second thing that needs to happen, in our view, is that Egypt's political leaders find the way to work together in a way they haven't over the last year, to agree a constitution, an electoral law, the checks and balances of a democratic system that respects minorities as well as majority government, so that everyone can have confidence, the Egyptians can have confidence in the future, in their political future. And the third thing, in our view, is that the interim government and a new civilian government take urgent economic steps. Egypt is a country of 85 million people with immense economic challenges. One of the things that hasn't been achieved over the last year is sufficient decisiveness and action to improve their economic situation. And we, of course, stand ready to assist with our expertise, advice, and other assistance as best we can. In the long run, it's democratic institutions that bring stability to countries anywhere in the world, but particularly in North Africa. So we will continue to argue for those things to be created in Egypt. It is the problem with a military intervention, of course, that it is a precedent for the future, and that if this can happen to one elected president, it can happen to another in the future. And that's why it's so important to entrench democratic institutions and for political leaders, for all their sakes and the sake of their country, to work on this together, to find the compromises that they haven't been able to make in Egypt over the last year. Now, we can't lay that down from outside. No other country can decide on that. Only Egyptian leaders can put that together, but we hope they will do so.